if I covered this up, the crazy thing is when I typed on this build as with a GMK set, it honestly sounded way different. You can definitely tell that these are PBT caps, and it's not in a bad way. Like, I feel like it actually added a little more character to the board. Not that it needed a character, but it just added a different type of character, right? So I would venture to say if you're familiar with PBT and GMK ABS caps, if I covered up my desk and you just listen to a typing test, you could probably guess that these are PBT caps. But it really does. I feel like I like PBT on this board, at least with this setup. How did it sound? I think it sounds pretty damn good. I love my OTC Moto Light caps. Dude, they're fantastic. I do feel like I'm slightly more accurate on PBT because I have a little bit, generally I feel like PBT is a little bit grittier. So I feel like I'm a little bit more accurate with my strokes. Bro, I tank but heal, and we win with 0 deaths. I don't see the downside. Yeah. I don't know how Ryan uses total 5 fingers and types way faster than me using all 10. I'm just efficient, bro. Such a cheap set too, you get them all. I know, right? 21 KB versus CRP. Both are good in their own regard. I feel like it's very situational for me. Oftentimes 21 keyboard caps can be a little bit too muted sounding for me. So likewise, if I build a board and this is super poppy, very loud board, almost too loud, I could put 21 keyboard caps on there, tone it down a little bit. Vice versa with CRP. How are the OTC caps compared to the nice PBT or 21 keyboard? You know, I am building, so to show you guys, the second build that I'm doing tonight, I'm an hour in and I haven't even shown a board yet. Oh my. It's fine, everything's fine. I'll show you real quick. So these are Canon Keys nice PBT, right? So these are the caps I'm gonna be using on the Brutal V2 tonight, right? Didn't you sell your 21 keyboard sets, Ryan? I sold a couple. Honestly, dude, I had like 10 sets. So I still have a bunch of sets. Here, you know what? I'll show you real quick. I mean, I definitely, when I say this, it's not that I hate PBT or I prefer GMK or I like one brand over the other. It's, for me, keyboards are very like situational. So it's not like I like or a dislike. It's really depends on the board. So for instance, what I have right here is nice PBT, OTC caps, PBT, and I also have XMI. So just to show you guys, I still use XMI, right? So this is the Hongle. It looks super warm. That badge is like way too flashy. Hopefully this isn't like, it's a rose gold PVD. But it definitely toned the board down a ton on this one. But you can tell that the caps are thick, right? Listen. Right? So if you were to compare, I would say, so the one thing I don't like about XMI, let me put this over here so it's out of the light. There we go. The one thing I don't like about XMI is I feel like the caps tend to be a little bit more in the yellow direction, right? So as you can tell here, if you're looking at the alphas, I do have kind of warm lighting here, but it is kind of yellow in person. So XMI, a little bit thicker, a little bit more muted sounding, cheaper, but a little bit more yellow. So for me personally, I find the yellowness of the caps is a little bit harder to match with the board. Like, I don't think I would like the yellowed XMI caps on this board. I like the beige pop, right? So, were OG die stubs more yellow? My NCR die stubs are actually more gray. So, just to show you guys, and obviously this is not gonna be a beige set, but I can show you the legends. So if we were to compare just the legends, I would say the OTC legends on the alphas are a little bit bolder and a little bit fuzzier, but I wouldn't say one's like superior to the other. They're both pretty good. But like, for instance, if we compare just the tildes, right? So you can clearly tell OTC, XMI. Look how bold it is compared to that one. They're very similar, right? And if we flip it over, you can definitely tell the XMI is slightly thicker. It's a little bit thicker. And it's got that classic XMI stem. Right? Okay. Oh. And then finally, if we're gonna look at the nice PBT set, I know it's not beige, it's not a super good comparison, but it looks pretty good. I'll show you guys a little bit closer. I'll show you a better comparison when I put it on the board. How about that? Well, this is a pretty cool set. Compared to the Tulip, is XMI noticeably more yellow? I would say XMI is, like, at least from my experience, the most yellow of the PBT sets, which is my only gripe with it, I would say. Inks versus blacks on aluminum with X-ring. I think I like inks on aluminum more, but I like blacks on PC more. Not sure if it's just me, but I think that nice PBT caps sound rather nice. Yo, I see what you did there. We'll see. I'm gonna build the Brutal V2 tonight with these nice PBT caps. Oh shit, those are some white. These are actually a little bit blue. A little blue. All right, I can't wait for OTC with sub-legends, right? How do you feel about icons? Honestly, I'm not super picky. About, I know some people are like, oh my God, icons, text, icon and text, you know, Dixie mods. I personally am not, it's not something I directly look for, like, it's not something I look for immediately. I first look, do I like the colors? What comes with the kit? I'm not super picky about, oh, it's got the purse on the caps lock, or it says caps, or it says lock. I know some people are like super, like, adamant about never using certain things. I don't care. But I know there's tons of people who care, tons of people who don't care. Although I did see purse on caps ruins it for me so fast. See, I actually don't mind purse. I think what GMK muted round 1 had purse. I don't know if round 2 does. All right, pop this back here. Let's take a look at the board we're building. How about Botanical 2 Legends? Yo, Gok, could you drop me a link so I can click on it? Because I just put my keyboard away. All right. Are those grips from LGG? How are you liking them over the stock ones? Yo, okay, so actually here, I'll take my keyboard out real quick. Let me show you guys something real quick here. Speaking of, okay, so the question here is, how do I feel about Gawk has asked, where did it go? Botanical 2 Legends. Botanical 2 Legends. So like the mod Legends? The caps lock and short backspace offend me. Okay, so for instance, Botanical, one of my favorite sets. I love the colorway. So if we were to drill down on this, I personally do not, I'm okay with the backspace, enter, shift. I like icon